seen you.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So first of all, sorry for the lack of videos in the past few days, weeks, but I've been pretty sick for pretty much the first half of the league, and due to the problems that we're facing at the moment globally, I had really bad internet. I'm playing on ADSL. So now that it's a little bit better and I'm a little bit better, I was able to pull off a Metagag build once again, which is a Herald stacking build, a pure called EK, very cheap version that I'm presenting here. I will also include a much more expensive battle building, and the Uberelder at the end of the video will be done on the much more expensive versions, but you will see a Cyrus on this version, which I think costs between 20 to 30x and can do pretty much all content in the game: full Delirium, T16, general mapping, bossing, delving, whatever you want. We are basically immune to freeze, immune to shock, 90 all res, positive chaos res and 50 with the flask, like 40 spell block, 75 block, and huge amounts of damage on the EK. So I'm gonna not do like a build guide. I mean, I will put the PoE, but the build will be there next league, so it's pretty much a showcase. And yeah, we're gonna just take a quick look at my gear, at my passive tree, and yeah, if you have like 30x laying around and you haven't tried herald stacking and you want to know what it feels like to be pretty much immortal and shit on the game, I would recommend give it a try, cause this build is way too overtuned and won't exist no more. So yeah, let's quickly check the gear. So we are using a Nebulous, which is a pretty cheap one. What you're looking for is a high cast speed roll and a high cold damage roll. The lightning roll is less relevant since we are pure cold. We are not using Call of the Brotherhood and Wrath conversion. We are converting 40% of our cold damage to Hearted Watch design and 50 to the gloves. And yeah, this is mandatory. You want to have at least one of your auras on reduced mana reservation on the helmets, and alpha holes, which give you 8% reduced mana reserve, is mandatory. Same for the presence of Chayula with the Champion of the Cause. I would recommend to anoint it with resistance modifier to get positive 12 chaos res in the end, which gives you pretty much 50 chaos res with the flasks, which is pretty nice. Then plus 2 duration Prism Guardian is really cheap. It's around 20-30 chaos, I would guess. Much cheaper than plus 2 AoE, and just gives you like plus 4 levels to Val Gens. Since we're using Val Discipline and Val Heads, it gives me massive amounts of ES and huge movement cast speed. Then I'm using just one Herald of Thunder ring with some stats, a crafted ES, and plus 2 just for getting a 23 Righteous Fire. Then Syntrax. Second ring is just bit stats, massive ES on the ring, and crit multi. Since if you have Shattered, since we are pure cold, we're gonna shatter pretty much all the time. So while mapping, we always have 23 crit multi. And since we're not using the Maligraros gloves, we can scale pretty much our crit multi. This is why we're using increased critical damage also. We're using the Cyclopean Coil, which is just for shock immunity all the time, which is pretty nice for serious 8. You want to be immune to shock, which means we are immune to freeze, immune to shock. Ignite, we don't really care. We have so much life regen that we don't really care, which is converted to ES regen. Then we are using a Rumis because we are getting some block from our Ascendancy to get a bit more block. Diamond Flash since we are crit build. Taste of Hate since we are converting pretty much all damage to cold. It's a massive damage boost. Aziris because we benefit from both most physical and mental. And an Alchemist of Adrenaline. So gem links are for the main skill EK, Hypothermia for bossing when you have your Val Impurity. If you don't use Val Impurity of Ice, just go for Cold Pen for bossing. Pretty much better damage than Hypothermia if you don't have Val Impurity. So on bosses that I have had like Shaper or map bosses, I can swap easily to Hypothermia because I know that I'm gonna have my Val Impurity up. But on bosses like Sirius or Uberelder, I always use Cold Pen. For mapping, I'm using Chain. Then Control Destruction, Increase Crit Strikes, Inspiration, and Spell Echo. For auras, the placement of the auras is pretty important here. So on the shield, I'm using my, as I said, both my Val auras and a Zealotry. Then on the helmet, I have Purity of Ice, Skitterbots, Hatred, and Purity of Fire. Purity of Lightning is on my Scepter, which was Flame Dash Arcane Surge. And on my Blood Magic, on my gloves, I'm using Vitality, Clarity, and Precision. Now, regarding the tree, I said Guardian, so Harmony of Purpose for the Frenzy, Endurance, and Power Charge generation, and Radiant Faith and Warring Faith for the physical mitigation, life regen, and armor ES, and Bastion of Hope for the block that it provides us, which combined with the Rumis gives us pretty much max attack block and 40-ish with a 38 spell block, which is pretty nice. Then for the tree, we are using 3-7 passive voices, which are really cheap at the moment, and pretty much abusing the new purposeful Harbinger jewels. So for the tree you start like this. Here we have the Watcher side, which is a Hatred Fist conversion, which should be around 2x. Then we are taking both of the strength nodes because we are really strength starved. Pain Attainment, a Conqueror's Efficiency, which should be around 1x, then all the reduced mana reservation nodes from the tree, and Anointed, the last one, which is here. Then here we have the Ring of Blades, Pain Attainment, as we said. Here the outhouse for the life regen, so Vitality applies to ES, which allows us to perma sustain Rage Sphere. The 3 spell crit nodes here. Then it's Purposeful Harbinger Heraldry, and as many jewel sockets as you can. Corrupted Bolt is always nice to have, as well as phasing in the MS. So we are using pretty much these jewels, and then it's just 1% mana reserve jewel, and if not, all my other jewels are crit multi, spell damage, yes. And we are using pretty much Purposeful Heraldry for all the jewel slots, medium, but 3, and 3 are Purposeful Handbringer. You want to have like 4 or 5 passive skills, which saves up passive points to get the jewel sockets. And we are using 1 jewel, which is with one of the purities reservation, mana reservation, and this with the 1% and the Conquerors and all the reduced mana reserve nodes from the tree plus our gear allows us to run all the roars that we are running. So yeah, tree is just abusing the voices. Build up is really fun. I'm gonna include a Headhunter version also in the POB, which should be, this one should be 20 to 30x tops with 21 gems, and the Headhunter is pretty much 200 to 300x. So yeah, hope you like the video, and I'll see you around. Cheers!
Glad you made it back.
Did you really think this would work?
Sirs, please, we want to help. Don't do anything hasty.
Destroying you is as easy as flicking a pen. How boring and small. You want the Atlas? Take it. It's yours. But Oriath, I will burn to the ground. Perhaps the suffering of my fellow citizens will finally stir. What's this? A real talent. You finally caught my attention. The others found strength in their projections. They became reliant. Not so foolish.
You are nothing.